Hello everyone. I'm going to do a little chat on the Module 2 Assessment 2 on Rosie Learns Incorporated. I have the template pulled up, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. You'll just be inputting the account titles here and then the cost here and the number of parts and then multiplying it out. So let's talk a little bit about the assignment. It says Rosie Learns Incorporated manufactures robots and use an activity-based costing system. Rosie Learns activities and related data are listed below. And we can see that, and I'll pull it over here so we can take a look at it. Materials and handling are $230,000. That's the budgeted cost, and the number of parts is the allocation base. The predetermined overhead allocation rate is $1.50. The assembly is $3,200,000 in budgeted cost, and the number of assembly is direct labor hours. That's your allocation base, and the predetermined overhead rate is $16. And then the finishing activity is $150,000, and the allocation base is the number of finished units, and it's a $3 allocation base. Okay, so then it says the number of units receiving the finishing activity, not the number of units transferred to finished goods inventory. That's a little note there for the finishing units. And then it says Rosie Learns produces two models of robots, the Rosie 5 and the Rosie 10. The Rosie 10 has fewer parts, and this is important, it requires no finishing work. Okay, so even though they're giving you this information up here about the finishing cost, you have to remember that the Rosie X or the Rosie 10 has fewer parts and it requires no finishing work. Okay, so then they give you some more information. The Rosie 5, 3,000 units produced. Direct material cost was $54,000. Direct labor, $67,500. Total number of parts is 8,000, and the total assembly direct labor hours was 4,500. For the Rosie 10, you have 3,500 in units produced. Remember, there's no finishing work. The total direct material cost is 56,000. The total direct labor, 52,500. The total number of parts is 6,000, and the total assembly direct labor hours, 3,500. So you are to compute the manufacturing product cost per unit of each model of robot. And then suppose that pre-manufacturing activities such as product design were assigned to Rosie 5 at $8 each and to Rosie X or Rosie 10 at $5 each. Similar analysis were done on post-manufacturing activities such as distribution, marketing, and customer service. The post-manufacturing costs were $18 for Rosie 5 and $14 for Rosie 10. What is the full product cost per unit? And then number 3, which product costs are reported in the external financial statements? Which costs are used for management decision making, and what is the difference? And which price or what price should Rosie Learns set for Rosie 10 to earn a target net profit of $20 per robot? Okay, so let's keep looking here at the template. Okay, so again, you're going to need to fill in the account titles. The predetermined overhead rate, they're giving you this, okay? You don't need to calculate anything. They're just giving it to you. So you just need to go back and look at the information that I just read to you. It's in the table. It says predetermined overhead allocation rate, and so you'll just fill that in, okay? And then also they give you, it says actual quantity of the allocation base used, okay? And so that information is actually in, can't get my I can't get it to scroll down. My computer's freezing. 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. I couldn't get it to scroll down and I couldn't see, so I couldn't tell you where to look. But in the second little table in your information that they're giving you, they give you the total number of parts. Okay, so the actual quantity of the allocation base used. And you're given that information. You don't have to calculate anything. You just have to go back and kind of look at that table. They give you total units produced, total direct material cost, total direct labor cost, and the total number of parts. Okay, so you'll just input that here, okay, and then multiply it out to get your answer, okay. And just remember, I will caution you, that on the Rosie X, remember, they had no finished, there is no finishing work, okay? So even though they did finish some units, they had 3,500 produced, just remember when you get to this part here that the Rosie X, the information, it told you that there was no finishing work. Okay, so they finish products, but they don't have to do the actual finishing work. Okay, so just remember that and keep that in mind. Okay, all right. And then you'll come down here and the information that you'll fill in here, the total direct material cost, you will have already calculated that up here. So you'll just be pulling that information from what you have calculated. Okay, for the most part, you will be getting that from here. Okay, so you'll just plug everything in. All right. And then if you come down here, pre-manufacturing cost per unit. Okay, that information was also given to you when you read requirement 2. All right, they're asking for pre-manufacturing cost per unit. It says, suppose that pre-manufacturing activities such as product design were assigned to Rosie 5 at $8 each and to Rosie X at $5 each. So they are giving you that information. You just really have to go through the assignment and really kind of pick through and see what are they really telling me, you know, and what do I need to calculate, okay? And as you complete each part, you'll be going back to the previous part to get answers. So for example, right here, manufacturing product cost per unit, that's what you're calculating right here, okay? So we'll just need to look back into the previous requirement and see, you know, what do I need to plug in here, okay? So you have a couple check figures along the way so you can see if you're doing it correctly. All right, and then you get down to the last one, and you'll be using the formula where you are looking for sales price per unit, and that's going to be equal to the full product cost plus your net profit. Okay, so we have the formula right here. Sales price per unit is equal to the full product cost, and that you have a little asterisk there. It says calculated in requirement 2, and you just add to that the desired profit. Okay. All right, so this one, I think you have a pretty good template that's going to help you through it. And you have several check figures along the way. Please, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to email me. I check my email constantly. I'm kind of addicted to it. So, you know, don't be afraid to email me. And anytime you're working on one of these problems, if you get stuck, and especially if you have a check figure, like say right here, and you can't get that figure and you've just done everything and you're beating your head against the wall, please email me and let me take a look at it, because, you know, last week I did make a mistake when I made the template. And, you know, I wish someone had just emailed me and said, I just can't get that number, because then I would have went and looked and said, oh, you know, I made a mistake. Okay, so don't beat your head against the wall. Email me. It could be that you're missing something, and it could be that I made a mistake. Okay, so I'm only human. Don't be afraid to reach out and say, you know, I've been working on this for an hour or 2 hours, and I just can't get the answer that you have provided. So I am trying to double check everything and make sure that I didn't make any more mistakes, but I don't want students being frustrated. It's better just to go ahead and email me. If you've worked on it for a while and you're close and you feel like you've really got the answer, definitely let me take a quick look, okay? All right, so good luck, everybody. Hope you enjoy this assignment. It's pretty straightforward. Not a ton of calculations that you have to do. They're giving you all the information you need here. You're just going to be plugging it in, and then the calculations you do would be right here, okay? And then remember, each part that you're doing, you'll be going back to the previous part to look at some of your answers over here to plug in for, like, the direct material costs, the direct labor costs, things like that, okay? All right, good luck, everybody. I'll be here if you need me over the weekend, and I wish you the best of luck.